I swear when that near pick six happened, I almost shit my pants. It was terrifying. The game was uncomfortable. The game was scary. The game went not how we thought it was going to go, not how I thought it was going to go. But A&M wins it. You survive. You advance. And let's get the good out of the way. Games that feel like that, games where you feel stagnant, games where the refs are not in your corner, games where you're penalty-ridden, whichever way we want to go with that. We have to relook at the game to know that for sure if it was bad calls for A&M. But that kind of game feels like a loss. When that stuff happens, when you get those ingredients, it feels like you lose the game. Similar to what you could say about the game before. You could draw the parallel there. It's a different style game, but similar to the Notre Dame game in that you had the special teams mistake, you had the blocked punt for a touchdown, you had the kickoff return called back, and you still win the game. That's very un-A&M-like. In this game, all that other stuff that I just mentioned happened, and you still find a way to win this game. On the hands of your defense. You won a defensive game. Like, what? It's just... Well, I just walked out of the stadium. There's a margarita waiting for me about 30 feet in front of me right now. I still can't comprehend that the way the game just went. Defensive showdown. You score one touchdown. The game started so great. We talked about starting fast in this game. You started really fast. You got 3 and out, including a sack. You march down. You score. You get another stop. I think there's another 3 and out. And then it feels like you're going to take over the world. And then third down start hitting. Third and long start hitting. And I think outside of penalties, which is like the main takeaway, there was some bad from the offense. And there was good too, but the bad was they had the answer for us on third down. They showed blitz. They pulled everybody up to that line of scrimmage on third and medium to long. And whether they brought everybody, got a sack. First time they did that, they brought them, got a sack on Marcel. Or whether they dropped half of them or some of them into coverage, as we've talked about over the weeks, Marcel does worse when he sees pressure, when he gets exotics, when he feels uncomfortable. And that was a problem on third downs this game. Look, there was good in this game offensively. There really was. All we heard was that Auburn was this good run-stop defense, and A&M goes out. Le'Veon averages 6.6 yards a carry on like 20 carries. Ruben Owens only touches the ball like 4 times, but he averaged like 17 yards a carry because one of them was an explosive. You're able to establish a run game. You're able to move the ball pretty consistently. In fact, you outgained them like 420, nice, to 150. And the game was in the balance at the end. Like, what a weird-ass football game. Defense turned up. Look, let's get this out of the way before we get to the defense talk. People are going to tell you all week, Auburn's a terrible offense. Jackson Arnold's terrible. They're going to do that. They're going to disparage you. Let them be right about that. Because even if that's right, you thoroughly whipped that ass. You thoroughly dominated the Auburn offense. They had nothing going this game. Absolutely nothing. Their best offense was A&M making mistakes. Their best offense was A&M making penalties. And of course, their biggest play of the game was an A&M mistake on that near pick six play. You were all over the place defensively. I have to rewatch the game, but comparing it to OU the week before, there were no shots available to Cam Coleman. There was nothing there. Nothing available outside based on how our corners played. There was one jump ball that Will Lee got beat on, but I haven't seen the replay yet. People are telling me that one was questionable. People are telling me Will Lee might have actually come down with that one. I don't know. I'll rewatch that one. That was one where he maybe got beat. But aside from that, man, you were money outside. You were absolute money. Oh, when you got after Jackson Arnold. 5 sacks in the game. Some of them very timely. The Cassius Howell one late in the game was great. DJ Hicks did it again, man. Torian York bounce back game. He was the spy quite often. He was in coverage a lot. He chased people down a lot. Torian York played really damn well. Marcus Radcliffe continues to play well. I'd like to point out the first sack of the game. We find out before the game Scooby's not playing. We know Bryce isn't playing. There are 2 backups. Sanford, Brooks, big game, big role for those 2 guys. They combined for the first sack of the game. Team. That's what teams do. And furthermore, talking about team, offense had a bad one. You know, it wasn't, I don't think it was a disaster, but it almost was based on just mistakes. But in terms of overall production, it wasn't a disaster. And out of nowhere, the defense had their backs. Out of nowhere, you got complimentary football in the regard that your offense suffered, but the defense was able to pick up the slack. I did not anticipate the defense to hold them to 3 points. best case scenario, like if I told myself going into this game, I would feel good if A&M held them to around 24 points. That would feel like progression. That would feel like, okay, that's an offense with some scary things. It's an offense that can punish us when we're weak with the run game. And we buckled down, man. We buckled down. We tackled well. Almost had a turnover late in that one. We had a pick in our hands and dropped it. We had a couple of tip balls and dropped it. We were right there. Y'all got to tell me about these penalties, man. I didn't want to spend too much time on it early on in the video. I wanted to kind of get the quick thoughts out before we got into the penalties. Albert Regis had a couple that were egregious, we have to say. The running into the kicker, maybe there was an acting job, but when you're brushing bodies with him, they're allowed to act and make it look like you're doing it. You can't get that close that late in a play. You got to realize that if you're that close to a player, it's going to happen. I thought the suplex was very late to the naked eye. The suplex is Albert Regis' signature move. We love the suplex. But if it's really far after the whistle, it's a little bit too dominant, and then it's a little bit too, like, stealing that guy's manhood. You got to watch it. You can't just steal his manhood like that after the whistle. You have to steal manhoods within the confines of the game, which he does a lot too. I like Albert Regis a lot. But he made a couple of big mistakes, and we know this. It seemed like a lot of those penalties were on the offensive line. We had a double holding on a play, 2 holding calls. We had an offensive lineman downfield. I don't know, man. That was sketchy. That was sketchy. I don't know. Was it? Was there some makeup calls happening? I'll tell you guys when I rewatch it. I'm all energized, and I feel weird after this game, guys. It's just not what we thought. It's just not what we thought was going to happen. It's just not at all what we thought was going to happen. Mississippi State just lost their game, but they went and dropped 35 points. It's an electric offense. I don't know what to expect from their defense. Here's kind of the overall thought leaving the game. I'll rewatch the game. I'll try to watch it tomorrow before I go live with you guys tomorrow, midday Sunday. We had a bad day at the office offensively, and I don't necessarily know that is something we should expect to happen again, because that is against the norm. But to say that, you have to be fair about the defense. The defense had their best game of the year. Can they keep that up? Can we meet in the middle? Because we've seen good from both. We've seen up and down from both now that we've had the bad offensive game. Marcel Reed, again, I gotta talk about Marcel one more time. Missed another deep ball, rough on third downs. I think, as much as I love Marcel, as much as they were still good from Marcel, like hitting balls in zone defense, still good against that. But on third downs and that deep ball, I feel like Marcel might have been our weakest link offensively today. Not that he's like a bad player, but that his mistakes cost us the most on those third downs and that deep ball miss. Again, you left points on the board. The deep ball, the one drive where you were down in the red zone, you got like backed up to a 3rd and 35. The double holding, only one got called. The throwaway on the sack because he reacted too late to the pressure ended up being a grounding. That backs you up to 3rd and 35. Mistakes. I think they can go away, but 13 penalties in back-to-back games. 13 penalties in back-to-back games. Again, I'll rewatch it and say how legit they were. I know there's this narrative that maybe some of them were makeup calls, but the evidence is there. We've been a penalty-riddled team. So even if some were makeup calls, we just got to watch it. We got to figure that out. A lot of offensive line penalties. But we've seen the proof of concept on defense now. We've seen that it can be at this level. Despite, I don't care what you say Auburn is, A&M took care of damn business. But really, really weird game, guys. Really big game coming up, night game, Mississippi State. We'll be talking about it all week. Can't wait to watch them. I'm going to rewatch that game, get back with you guys. Watch party next Saturday for Mississippi State. I'll be watching it from home. If you're not going to the game, join me. Shout out to Roback. Wore the Roback today. 20% off discount code Drewtamu. Look, I'm a thick boy, and this makes me look pretty nice. Pretty nice, not going to lie. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Gig 'em. We did it. It's a win, guys. Survive in advance. We're 4-0. Gig 'em.